we are in a beautiful Wisconsin morning, really muggy. I'm from Arizona, obviously most of you guys know that, and I do travel to do every one of these cars I do. This one was worth the travel. We're looking at a very nice 1963 and a half Ford Galaxie 500, hardtop sport roof, 427 dual 4-barrel, very well documented car, documented back all the way to the original owner. I'm going to do a little walk around here and cover the whole car for you and kind of give you an idea. The restoration is about 10 to 15 years old. We'll nail that down on the book. But it's a very straight double or triple black car, whatever you'd like to call it. Is black top, black body, black interior, 427 dual 4-barrel, 4-speed car. All original components. It's received a restoration that was very well done, and it was not overdone, which is really key on these cars. You know, you don't want to overdo these cars. Right down to the Firestone bias ply tires. We're going to do a little walk around here and kind of give you a good feel of the car. A little slow. These videos sometimes can be a little bit long and a little bit crooked right there. But I look at the car and I try and walk around and do these. You know, I don't know everything when it comes to cars, but I know enough to be dangerous when it comes to most cars. If you watch my videos, you know Spud's Garage knows and touches a lot of different cars. This is a really neat car. It's hard to find them documented like this, right down to the numbers. And we'll cover under the engine compartment in great detail. The judge's book or build book has a lot of documentations of the restoration, so on and so forth. You can tell the panels are very straight on this car. The trim, if not all of it, is 100% original. I don't know if it all is, but boy, I can tell you it was pretty much an unrestored 34,000 mile actual mile car that was documented back to the original owner. In fact, a letter from the original owner stating what his intentions were and why he bought it, and so on and so forth. It was kind of a weekend warrior kind of car. 34,000 actual miles. You'll catch me repeating myself from time to time. Try and cram a lot into my brain. A lot of the hardware was either CAD plated or so on and so forth when they did it, or refinished. Door jamb, it's a very nice car. Obviously this is OEM reproduction materials in the interior of the car. White headliner. Courtesy lights work like they're supposed to. It's got the thing over the visor there, the reproduction start here motor that would have been on at the dealer. Instructions. Again, door jamb to door jamb. The dash is spectacular. A lot of the trim here, you'll see light patina and age on it, which kind of gives you a feel. This was pretty much an unmolested car prior to the restoration. A couple of the things he did during the restoration, during when he first bought the car, he could never get his lightweight car. It never came in, so this car came in and he got it. A couple of things he did to it, that tachometer has been on there since it was new. On the fender apron, you'll see the control. We'll cover that in the engine compartment. He did upgrade it to a 4-speed shifter. And we have actual pictures of the original owner buy this car. Looked like he was leaving church. Anyway, doors shut very nice, like a bank vault. You know, when you get cars like this that weren't all beat up, you know, or cut up or anything like that, were respected with actual miles, are really hard to find. So consequently, the subsequent restoration comes out very nice because it's not some cobbled together thing. It was a body on restoration. We again have photos of that, which means they didn't affect the structure of the car and you know, cause different body sag or not get the mounts back on right. Hear the birds. Again, I'm not quite used to the mugginess here, being from Arizona where it's super dry. Rained last night as I rolled into town. So I'm sweating a little bit and swatting away mosquitoes. But you can tell by the reflections on the car that it is very straight. Big old Galaxie on the back. Look at those rockets. They made these cars to look like they were going to take off, and they were big horsepower cars. I don't know what the numbers were of the cars built. We're going to actually cover the trunk area at another section of the video, but I thought I'd show you the trunk here real quick. I got the key. There's the baby book, so on and so forth, that we'll cover with you. Just want to show you how the panels fit and so on and so forth. Keep the key in my hand. We'll fire this girl up. Very sexy car. You know, if you want to call it a girl or a guy, I don't know. But I have a tendency to equate the cars that way because they're all special in their own way. Again, hang on to the end of the video. We're going to have undercarriage, detailed time underneath the hood, talk about the markings. There's the sport roof here, which is really neat. It's got a nice body line here. It's really cool. We rolled the window down to give you the hard top look. Firestone tires. We'll actually cover the undercarriage in video too. On the ground here, I have a flip screen camera. Again, door jamb to door jamb. Looks like they refinished a lot of the latches and so on and so forth. This is the original interior to the car, no doubt about it. You'll find some patina and, you know, tiny scuffs marks from people getting in the back seat and so on and so forth. Man, if cars could tell a story, wouldn't it be fun? Go to church on Sunday and race that afternoon, or we'll have raced the day before. We do have, like I said, we do have a picture of the original owner standing there in his suit with his wife. Looked to be a church. Anyway, here's the original horn ring. You can see it has patina on it, patina and age. This reproduction interior, we talked about that as far as the trim goes itself. I believe these are the original sill plates too. You know, people's foot marks getting in and out of the car over the years. Just wow. I'm going to put the key in the ignition here because we're going to fire it up for you. There's the original data tag. They painted around it. It was not removed, so I know that's the original one. I can tell by looking at it. You can actually see where they taped it off around the tag here. 63B, color A, trim looks like a 66. My eyes aren't that great, so we'll leave that to my still photos. Make sure you go to spudsgarage.com. Well, we'll get in here. Again, this Stewart Warner tack was put in when the car was new by the owner, and the 4-speed shifter itself, but the transmission and everything else is original to the car. Gauges were added underneath the dash. Obviously those are older SW gauges, probably done at the same time. We're just operating off what we know from the owner and what we believe to be true. We're going to fire this old girl up and kind of give you a feel here, but this tack, you can tell it's an original tack, and the original controller that's mounted under the hood is clearly, this is not a reproduction tachometer. We're going to fire this up, make sure it doesn't roll away on me here. Yep. There we go. Got the owner here, John, standing here. Temp gauge, we have taken it run down the road and back, and actually I'll probably do that with the camera here in just a minute. Everything appears to be functional. The clock, you know, these things never work. So, original Ford AM radio, crackly just like any AM radio. Oil pressure is awesome. Wow. Anyway, I'm going to step out and let you hear it run out the tailpipe. And of course we'll have different videos of it where it's the owner's turning it around, give you a feel of it. It's a beautiful thing. Sounds great. Anyway, I think it's about time for you to get in, but as you do, hang on to the end of the video because we're going to cover a bunch more. Have a great day. Go to spudsgarage.com where you'll find plenty of still photos and documentation. Here we are under the hood. We're going to have short little clips as we go through this car, covering the things that we can reach and get to. We know this is an extremely well documented car. It has 34,000 actual miles on it. But we'll go over that. We probably talked about that previously in the video here, but we wanted to cover the engine compartment here for you. It is a 63. It is the original engine and components in this car, including air filter, so on and so forth. The car was purchased. Again, we'll talk about that some other time. 427 top oiler. I've got a book here, a little cheat sheet that goes with this car, and we could be covering this book in the trunk also. It's very authentic. The restoration was documented. Just to give you an idea here, the block number is a C3AEAB. It's a 63 top oiler. We will have pictures and video talking about head numbers and so on and so forth like that. We have a few mosquitoes here in Wisconsin. The transmission was actually documented, and we have a picture of the transmission prior to restoration, and it's been restored, and it has a C4ARN on it. Just kind of going through all the items in this kind of gives you an idea what the car is. There's the block casting number during the restoration. There's the transmission prior to, and of course they duplicated that much like they duplicated the 4-speed marking on the firewall. And let's see here. High performance cylinder heads. The heads are a C3AE6090D. They're early 63 427 low risers. We have pictures of those at Spud's Garage. When the heads were off during the restoration, they actually measured the valves to make sure everything's correct. Pictures of the head during the restoration. Right here. Here's the heads. Now I've taken pictures here too while I'm here. There's another valve measurement, so on and so forth. But we'll cover more of this book in the trunk, but I wanted to kind of show you the engine compartment here. It's a dual 4-barrel, 63 427 top oiler, 4-speed car, original 4-speed car. According to the owner, from what he believes, this is an original fuel filter. They can be even expensive in a reproduction form. Very nice level restoration. Wiring looks like it's been updated here underneath the hood. This is the tack that was installed by the original owner. He actually ordered a car, and it took forever to get here, a drag version, and then just got fed up with the order and actually ordered this car. And he bought it specifically to, go to be a weekend warrior with. We actually have that documented here, a letter from the original owner of the car. So anyway, to give you an idea, the valve covers themselves were not restored. These are the original valve covers and air filter to this car. Most, if not all, of the components on this car are believed to be original. Anyway, it's a nice level restoration. It's not overdone, which makes it bitchin'. Anyway, Motorcraft oil filter on it. They kind of went to every level. Hang on to the end of the video. We're definitely going to have more for you. We're going to tip our camera a little bit and get some undercarriage photos for you. Let me pull this book away so you can see the radiator and so on and so forth, the recovery tank there, or the pressure tank. Anyway, we appreciate you coming to Spud's Garage. We have the air filter off. We're kind of showing you the carbs with the pictures with the tags. Will be at spudsgarage.com. We're going to get them as best as we can. Here, C3AECA. My eyes are not the best, so we'll look at the still photos and make sure that those are what I just read to you. Also at the back of the air horns here, I'll wander around over that side. It's really, unless I'm standing on my head leaning against the windshield, I'm not going to be able to get those numbers, but we did try and get still photos of them. Obviously the carburetors have been gone through. Nicely restored. Here's the front carburetor. Maybe it'll focus in enough for you to get a feel for that. And then the back carb air horn, but we did take still photos from the back side of the hood here to try and get them as best as we could. The intake manifold casting is a Ford casting. It's a C3AE9425J. And again, we have a full book on this car that documents all the numbers. There's the 4-speed tag on the firewall, or the markings. All right, we're going to cover the trunk here for you, but at the same time, we're actually going to go over a book that's included with the car. We're going to take this back to our office, the book, and document it, and so on and so forth, and scan originals, but we'll cover some of it here with you. As far as we know, and we're going to go over the restoration book here, other than a couple minor spots that are documented in the book here, and I'll go over those real quickly, that's all the metal we know that was replaced on this car. It was a good solid car with 34,000 actual miles, which is what's on it now. Original build sheet and everything's included, but in the meantime, let's cover here. They restored it properly with all the correct cardboard and so on and so forth in the trunk. There's nothing hidden here. I'm not going to peel this mat all the way back, but you kind of get an idea of the level of restoration, including right down to the Firestone Deluxe Champion tubeless tire, 7, 10, 15, the jacks in here, so on and so forth. As we go through the books here, I'm going to kind of reposition myself a little bit. This is the original documents of the car, and they are very, very valuable. The build sheet for the 63 Galaxie 427. There's a letter from the prior owner here, or the original owner. There's copies of the original registrations of the car. There are some other things from magazines and so on and so forth here. As we fold through this, with a little bit of your patience, here's the original build sheet that was taken, I believe, out from underneath the seat. I don't know. I wasn't there when it came out. But there's the original build sheet on the car as it was produced, which is included with the car. Everything is included with the car. These are original documents. These are copies of it. And then we go over here to the baby book, or the brag book that they would have at the car show, or to show and prove this car is what it is. Just a little bit of memorabilia stuff there. There is a letter here from the prior owner, and it goes into when he owned it, that he was the original owner of the car, and he was an avid drag racer in the early 60s, and he'd ordered a 63 Galaxie, so on and so forth, and it seemed to he ordered a lightweight which never seemed to make production. Then this car arrived on the lot, and he purchased it. Spent much of its early life at a drag strip, Spencer Speedway near Rochester. He later relocated to Florida, and he actually towed the car to Florida. Here's a receipt where it was on a trailer on the way to Florida. Here's some early photos of the car. Again, all these will be at spudsgarage.com. These are early photos of the car too. Here's one that's really neat. Right here, we'll spin this around for you to look at. This is the original owner standing with his wife next to the car. Looks like they were at church. Maybe they're going to head to the drag strip later, who knows. Anyway, a lot of documentation here. I'm just going to kind of slowly go through it because we'll have it at Spud's Garage. Some documentation here. Looks like a copy of an original owner's manual. Again, a copy of the original build sheet, which you saw the original. The letter we have from the first original owner is right there. And of course, this book will actually probably have covered this in the engine compartment area, this part of it. But here's some copies of its restoration. It wasn't bead blasted. This thing was stripped with paint stripper, which makes it nice because this thing the metal wasn't distorted. It was an original car with original components. There were a couple little small places on the right rear here by the trunk. You can see this that was replaced. There's the original marking on the firewall, which they duplicated. 4-speed right there. Anyway, I could go on forever, but this kind of gives you a good idea how well the car was stripped down and done. Finished with epoxy primer, prepped. There it is during the restoration stage. Anyway, I know this is going to be a little bit of a long video, but it'll definitely be worth your time to view this. The brake line that's right here was pretty, that's how the 427s were built, so that if they launched them, they didn't, or windowed the block, they didn't blow out a brake line. There's the transmission number on the car. Anyway, thanks for coming to Spud's Garage. Hang on to the end of the video. We're definitely going to have more. As I mentioned, I'm going to take it for a quick little spin just to make sure the gears and the synchros are right. I think I got a mosquito in my mouth. Okay.
I always made a mistake at pulling and then the handle comes off.
34,473 miles at the time of inspection. I didn't cover that in the previous portion of the video here. I had it neutral. He took the brake off for me, reached in. That's reverse. Just checking to make sure all the gears are good. Okay, there's first. We hold the camera in our hand. This is a one-man show when it comes to this part of it. John out here watching the road for me. We're just going to show you it drives. We're not trying to do a racetrack thing. gear, second gear, third gear. What a nice driving car. Fourth gear. We'll take a little spin down the road here, kind of give you a feel. Speedometer reads we're doing about 35. It actually drives very well. Those bias ply tires feel pretty good. Hey, thanks for coming to Spud's Garage. Hang on to the end of the video. I love my gig, man. Talk to you later. Look at the undercarriage here. This car has 34,000 miles on it. It was restored. It was not driven in any salt or any situation like that. The floor pans are gorgeous. I believe they went to great lengths, or at least what the current owner was told, in reproducing those mufflers. You can't get them. Everything, the tank's been obviously refinished, so on and so forth, but this is a body on restoration, so you know, it didn't affect the structure of the car. All original. Just kind of going to slowly go over this for you. There's the rear differential, 4 to 9 inch, I believe it is, with the, looks to be nodular. I don't know, I'll have to look at the spec sheet on the car. Original chassis frame. Give you a feel here. A lot of great length went in to make sure this car was correct, because it was correct to begin with, which makes that pretty easy. You can see the floor pans here are just gorgeous. A little round. The tire size are 7/10/15 Firestone Deluxe Champion bias ply. So it rides like a brick, drives like a brick. If you want to put radials on it, you can. Bias plies have a tendency to follow the lines on the road. But very clean, and it should be, based on the miles that we know the car has on it. It was a restored original. You know, and everything's from what we know about the car. We believe it to be accurate. We'll go over the numbers. Again, I don't know everything about everything, but I'll tell you, this is a very nice little car. Kind of car you can show and enjoy. It has won awards. Body mounts right there are sweet. Anyway, those look like original hubcaps. They do have some patina on them and age. Anyway, thanks for coming to spudsgarage.com. Make sure you go visit, because we'll have plenty of still photos at Spud's Garage. You're on Spud's Garage YouTube, and of course you might see this on eBay or Hemmings by Spud's Garage. Thanks.